How's it going, everyone? This is our third take. Let's hope this one ends well. Welcome back to the Stoppage Time Stooges podcast. I'm back. It's Andrew, along with my good friend Jacob, who is very happy, not just because our New York Knicks won Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals, but also because Chelsea just won a European trophy. How about that, Jacob? How about the Blues?
Yes, sir. Another trophy. We have, by the way, folks, all the trophies in the cabinet. There's only one club in the world that's got all of them. It's this one.
I do want to have a conversation about that stat, though.
I know. I get it. It's a new competition, and I get it because we sucked with the year before.
Exactly.
But it's right in front of us. It was right in front of us the whole year. For folks who don't know, Aaron Boone said that a couple years ago. It was right in front of us the whole year. I said, for people that actually tuned into this, I said the minute that they were in this competition that it was mandatory that they had to win this competition, and they did. And I'm very proud, and it was a very good performance. It was a great second half, I should say. Terrible first half, great second half. They woke up. Maresca made changes because he knew he had the punt lineup out, which was a disgrace. Then he had the punt lineup. When you have Benoit Badiashile in, it's a punt lineup. I'm sorry.
To be fair to Enzo, both Spurs and Man U had punt lineups to start their Europa League final.
Their teams are punt lineups, Andrew.
I know, but I mean, they like Spurs weren't even starting Son.
I mean, again, if we do anything like Spurs, then that means that we need to fold again. I mean,
hey, they won Europa League.
Oh God, of course, God, Man U, God, I'll never get over that. But anyway, I was very impressed with how Chelsea played in the second half. I thought they just completely took the game over. Cole Palmer single-handedly said, "I'm winning the game," and he didn't score, but he had two incredible assists. Nicholas Jackson, the full experience, scores off his chest. And then I can't even talk. I'm like Nicholas Jackson. I'm screwing up. That breakaway basically where he had the ball all by himself, and then he took a touch too hard basically, and he lost control of the ball, and it went into Adrian's hands, which was just a big blooper. But I was so close, folks. I thought when it was going to be 2-1, I was going to say that with Fernandez scoring the first goal, because I said on the preview, I said Fernandez and Cucurella 2-1. I was half right. I was like 25% right on that one, folks. And I've called him N0. This year he wasn't N0.
Oh my God!
And it's about damn time. You know, I know he's not N0 because there were rumors about him in Real Madrid. That's how I know he's not N0.
I don't want him.
Fine, I actually want him.
You can keep him. I just thought that would be a disaster at Madrid.
But he had a really good year. Moises Caicedo, to me, pure class, really played up to the contract this year. Just a great team effort. And hearing the post-game quotes from Enzo Maresca about how Reece James told them, "Don't worry, we're gonna win the game. When I come in, I'm going to come in and we're going to win the game." And the fact that they actually kept Reece James upright most of this year is a massive achievement. And I give Maresca credit for figuring out the perfect way to manage his minutes and make sure that he did not play too much so that he could keep him healthy and scatter it around. So props to him. Props to Enzo Maresca winning a trophy his first year there and getting in the top 4 and making the Champions League. That was the goal when the season started. And they accomplished it. Now next year, the goals get more. They get bigger. They get grander. The expectations are going to be risen. But for now, as it stands, I am very happy with what Chelsea accomplished this season.
I mean, and we're also forgetting. I mean, the few Jadon Sancho stockholders who held on to a stock. Scoring in the final.
Jadon Sancho did not have a good year, but every goal he scored was memorable. That's the Jadon Sancho experience. Every goal that he scored, all 5 of them were memorable. Against Spurs in this game. I forgot the other ones, but they were relatively memorable when you
I guess
watch
they
them.
aren't memorable.
Yeah. They're memorable.
No, they're good quality goals.
Bingo. That's not what I meant.
They're good quality goals. Yeah, they're not just any regular tap in or no, they're good strike. Yeah, no. For the first half of this match was peak Betis.
It was all Betis.
I know, but just from watching them in La Liga, it's like you watch Isco and you're like, he's still doing this. You're surprised.
I mean the commentary about Isco's performance. I mean, can we calm down? I mean, some of the Isco. I thought he reinvented the wheel based on how people talked about his performance. I thought he must have had a hat trick based on the commentary. I mean, and I have a lot of respect for Isco. I understand he's been through a lot in his career. Being at Real Madrid, then being cast off, then being back in the Spain team. I get it, but some of the commentary,
it's just incredible that he's still doing. I know
that's fair. No, that's well taken. I'll give you that.
At a decent level, he's still. I mean, you saw he's in this he's starting in this final and played a good match.
Yeah.
Probably their most effective player on.
Who was their least effective player?
Oh God.
Antony, what a stinker!
Picked up a yellow as well. He was awful.
Getting in a fight with Enzo Fernandez.
Anthony saw Chelsea and we were like, "Oh, guess I'm Man U Anthony again."
He saw an English team and he reverted back to the mean. Yep, basically.
Yep, that was pretty funny, and I'll never forget the Johnny Cardoso Cole Palmer nutmeg. I'll never forget that moment. Even though Johnny played pretty rough, pretty average, could have had a goal.
It's like he wore the stars and stripes.
Yeah, exactly. But he did have one nice move on Cole Palmer.
Hey,
that was the Brazilian in him. Oh man,
I love Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer press conference moments, and anytime he has a microphone,
he played very well, and he was incredible.
He was great, but anytime Cole Palmer has a microphone in front of him, it's going to be hilarious. And he's like one of those guys, naturally, he's like you don't expect him to be funny. He's just funny. Where he's like he has the trophy, the MVP award, and he sticks it like in his pants, and they're like, I don't have any pockets. I don't know where else to put it.
When you watch Cole Palmer early in a match, it's kind of shocking looking at the hair and everything, and then you remember he is peak Gen Z British man.
He's not going to be on a GQ cover. I mean,
no. But man, is he a damn good footballer.
You got that right.
Man, is he a damn good footballer. And Nicholas Jackson, your guy, Nicholas Jackson.
I told you it was the peak Nicholas Jackson game.
I mean,
all over the place.
He was playing a lot on the wing.
He does that because he has insane speed. He is very sneaky. He's really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So he has the speed to play on the wing, and he did that last year with Pochettino too, where he kind of veers around.
But it's weird of his archetype because he looks like he's just a straight line.
Yeah.
Kind of number 9.
But the problem is
he can play on the wing.
Yeah, and he has to because he can't finish.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He has terrible finishing ability.
Yep. But yeah, no. This is one Chelsea fans.
We've come a long way. There were some dark days last season with this podcast. Very dark.
Yeah.
I mean, drawing against Sheffield, drawing against Burnley, losing the Carabao Cup final to Liverpool when they had to beat a under 21 team out there.
All-time Jacob meltdown.
God, there have been many. I'm trying to think of others, but.
Well, how did you feel when Reece James entered the match?
Thank God, because Mallow was terrible.
I thought you were gonna get I thought you were gonna be like.
Well, that too,
because he is your Giancarlo Stanton.
He's the Giancarlo Stanton. Yeah, Mitchell Robinson is a lot better.
Mitchell Robinson, no, you. We're not going to have that conversation right now.
Yeah. But no, Reece James is the captain, and seeing him lift the trophy was very meaningful because seeing Reece James play is meaningful because anytime
That's
he's
what I was
healthy-
hoping I'd get out of you.
No, anytime he's healthy and he's out there and he's making an impact, it means something. So, when they can get his best, and when Reece James's best is so good, it just unfortunately just doesn't happen a lot because he's always injured. But when he makes an impact, and he's a real leader of the team, which I really admire. He absolutely earned that armband. And Enzo Maresca's talked about how he's a real leader, and I've worked. I'm always on him because I expect a lot out of him, and he was like, he's talking to Joe Cole. He's like, Joe, if I could, I play him every game, but we have to manage the minutes. He's like,
oh my god, I you showed me this again the other day. I remember watching it on Twitter when it happened, but the Enzo Maresca,
that was
incredible.
I mean, he literally became Italian Mourinho.
Yeah.
That's
something I did not. If you told me the beginning of the year when he was just puckering his lips, Rebecca Lowe, if you told me like Enzo Maresca would become one of my favorite,
he's a great quote
for a post-match presser. Like, oh my god, he's been sensational at those pressers all year long.
He's pretty good. Sometimes he says stuff that kind of annoys me because he can be very contradictory of stuff he says a week after. And
it makes him fun, though.
No, it's fun. It's not ideal for me because it's my team.
Yeah, but okay.
He's interesting. He's always.
We're gonna stay on brand for this podcast. We're gonna mix into other sports. It's like watching a Patrick Waugh presser in hockey. Now Enzo Maresca 5 million times the coach Patrick Waugh is. Patrick Waugh maybe 5 million times the player, but very similar in terms of making a press conference fun. You'll get something out of it.
All the media, they say, or the expert, they try to they think they know the truth. The truth. How do you say in English? F off. Or the pundit, they criticize. They say we are too young. We are no experience. We cannot beat Forest, so we need Villa to lose. It was
such a.
It was the ultimate heat check.
Yeah, so
that was a bit unnecessary, but I'll take it.
You need that swag.
Yeah.
So obviously now you guys have a Champions League spot next year. I mean, so this, it wouldn't have mattered, but it's nice to have another European trophy. I mean, come on.
Always is. And you can have a trophy. Nice. And I'll add this just to rub it in. Anytime that you win a trophy and Arsenal doesn't, it's a good year. And Arsenal's trophy case
Chelsea
just keeps collecting. And the more Arsenal's trophy case just keeps getting cobwebs and dust in it, it's a good year. So I'll take it.
It's also a good lead into the Club World Cup coming up next month.
Hopefully they can make some noise in that. Keep people healthy. That's very important. No one gets injured during that.
Big group stage match. Friday, June 20th against Flamengo. Watch out.
Wait a minute. Is Thiago Silva's on Fluminense or what is it?
Fluminense. Flamengo has, and they confirmed he'll be playing in this, Jorginho. So they're Arsenal Jorginho.
I didn't even realize that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, now I'm gonna be all on my feels.
Your former Jorginho.
One of my least favorite transfer moves away ever. Sending him to Arsenal for 15 mil, which is a disgraceful amount of money for a friggin' captain.
Yes. You're a good friend.
Yeah. Italian Brazilian Jorginho.
Yep, that's right. So yeah, you got that, going for you.
No, it was a good year. I was very sad. I mean, it was very far from perfect. There were a lot of moments where I was very much scratching my head, concerned, worried, but they showed a lot of fight in the end. They gritted it out, and I'm very proud of them for that. And they finished the season strong, just like they did last year in a very different way, but they finished the season strong. So Chelsea had a very good season, and it's nice for me
Successful.
to be able to say that. It was
Yep.
absolutely a success. And it's nice for
Mhm.
to be able to say that. And again, next year's very important.
Mhm.
They need to, I want, it's got to be at this level, and I want marginal improvement.
But in terms of a stepping stone season, this is as good as you can get. You win a European trophy, you qualify for Champions League, you know, you're respected in the Premier League. Like you finish top 4 in the Premier, like respected.
Yeah. Todd Bowley, Bedatic Bali, leave the manager alone.
Well, so
Please.
you already make a move getting Liam Delap. How do you feel about that early reaction?
The price doesn't bother me that much because it seems like it's going to be under 50 mil. So
I
from
believe
that
I read it's like 35.
yeah. So from that standpoint, it's not going to kill me. What worries me is again signing a striker from Ipswich who had
30.
one good year is a I don't love. And they want to double down on the youth. It's fine if it works. I still think that it would be such a huge benefit if they had experienced players in this team. I really believe that would help them get over the top. I just think it would make such a huge difference, and they don't want to do it.
You want João Pedro for 75?
No, not that experience. I want Kevin De Bruyne.
Oh.
Like I want like Luka
No,
Modric.
Kevin De Bruyne wants to play with your boy Antonio Conte.
I know. So another manager Chelsea should have never let go.
Who, by the way, they had this Fabrizio had this doubt the last week. It's like, oh no, Conte's not going to come back today. Announced.
Well, again, that's because he's dealing with an owner who's one of the most hot-headed people ever in Aurelio De Laurentiis.
Today, Fab tweets, "Oh, never a doubt. Conte stays at Napoli."
There was doubt.
Exactly. But
De Laurentiis and Conte is this constantly. Like those are two hard-headed, stubborn. I mean, De Laurentiis had Ancelotti. He had Sarri. He's had a lot of high-profile managers that he has gotten rid of like pieces of paper.
Yeah.
So, but I'm very happy for Conte. I also called that in the summer that I said in another pod that Inter would be significant. Not Inter. Napoli would be significantly better, and I said I do not care who is on the team. It literally does not matter at all.
Oh, and they really improved that roster. Like we thought the roster was cooked after, all the Osimhen trouble and getting rid of Kvara. I mean,
but remember they got Lukaku.
Lukaku. Well,
Lukaku,
De Bruyne. That's the whole reason De Bruyne wants to go. He wants to be with Lukaku. And Scott McTominay and Billy Gilmore.
And then they're gonna get Garnacho.
Billy Gilmore. Oh yeah, they're gonna get Garnacho next. Oh my god. And AC Milan's still gonna rot.
Well, no, they're not. They got Allegri.
God.
I have a question.
Allegri terrorist ball.
Yeah. How's Juventus doing now? Worse. They were second last year, were they not? This year they were fourth, right? Am I not mistaken?
No, last year they had the point deduction.
Oh, but
yeah, no. This year technically they had a better year this year because of the point deduction from last year. They didn't. I don't think they qualified for Europe this year.
But they finished well. But my point is, last year they finished higher.
Yeah, but they didn't because it wasn't like a success because of the point deduction, though.
Oh.
Yeah. So like technically this year it's weird. It's weird. Blame the Italian mafia. Blame Tony Soprano. How about that? Tony Soprano, if he was the sporting manager, sporting director of Juve.
I'm resisting not doing my Tony Soprano impression.
You should do it. Yeah, you should.
It's hard to do without cursing.
You Sam Guinea.
What are these players doing here? What guys that are strong?
I think get rid of Vlau. I want to hear Tony Soprano
Who-
say Vlahovic.
Who is this Vlahovic guy?
Oh,
It's so I can't.
yeah, no. It's all
no.
good. That's fun. It's been a fun pod so far. Did not expect the zigs and zags we've had so far. And we haven't even gotten to the main topic. Well, this is a pretty big topic we talked about. But do you have any more on Chelsea before we move on?
No, I said what I said, and again, successful season to the board. Please sign someone older than 28. Please. 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 It's going to make the team better. I'm telling you, it's the missing piece.
CR7?
Not
the chapter is finished, but the story isn't over.
Listen, I've wanted to see Ronaldo wear a Chelsea jersey like my entire life. It's just something that I've wanted, but it's kind of like we're gonna do another non-sports.
It's worse than Durant. It's worse than Durant.
It's like Durant to the Knicks. That ship has sailed.
Okay, Francesa.
That was another Sopranos reference.
Yep. No, I got that. You said it like Francesa.
The ship has sailed.
Ship has sailed. Okay. That was fun. We'll talk a lot more about Chelsea. We'll probably have a few Club World Cup pods because we have a few teams in that. So we'll have more Chelsea talk in the next month. So successful year, but technically season's not over yet. That badge. I mean, I don't care what you think about the Club World Cup. I don't care that it might be a fraudulent competition. Man, that badge is nice to have for a season and a half. Man, is that badge nice to have on your kit. But there is a bigger event than the Conference League happening this week. I'm sorry, Jake.
Are you sure? No.
Take out the E. It's the UCL Final. Inter Milan, Jacob's second favorite club.
One of my teams.
One of your second favorite clubs. One of your many.
Yeah.
Then Real Madrid. I think you love Napoli.
Yeah. I kind of like Juve. Kind of
like all the except for AC Milan. You kind of
except AC Milan.
You like those big Italian teams.
Yeah.
In Real Madrid.
Yeah.
But we have Inter Milan and PSG, who I mean somehow, some way. Ewing theory? I mean, we're wearing Knicks jerseys. Can we have a Ewing theory with Kylian Mbappe, potentially? I think we've brought this up. Maybe we haven't in the pod. But I'm going to bring it up again. I mean, Dembele I think he's gone up another level somehow. And I didn't think he had this in him where he could be the guy for a club, and he's just totally taken over.
You have to credit Xavi for motivating him.
Oh my god. I did not. I was, you know what? I was really hoping we'd go the whole pod without mentioning that fraud's name. And now,
to be honest with you about PSG, I really think I think we can get into the whole Mbappe thing now. I think last year they were probably tired of hearing about the rumors, tired of hearing about is he staying, is he going.
Totally agree.
It's not as much about a reflection of his play; it's more of a reflection about the constant drama hanging over everyone's head. It's probably just a lot to deal with and a lot to worry about and a lot to have to answer for and not.
Well, I also think it's a huge weight off Luis Enrique. You have, because that's a big mouth to feed, Kylian Mbappe. Big mouth. He can run more of his normal attacking style now. A free-flowing kind of... PSG has a very, very talented squad. They're still... I mean, say what you want. I know last year we were saying, it might be the worst, squad they've had in a long time, but I mean, you look at it now, they are pretty deep. They do have a pretty deep side. To the point, I mean, I've been reading talk about, not to go into Real Madrid, I mean, they're targeting Vitinha now, too, who I think would be an interesting acquisition. I don't see the fit, really, but point aside, PSG still has a very talented side. and they deserve to be in this final the way they've played all year long. All year long, they keep proving me wrong.
Prove the world wrong. I mean,
Proving the
I
world wrong. That's a great point.
deserve a lot of credit.
Now, Donnarumma still hasn't impressed me.
Yeah.
That's a whole other issue. But their attack has been electric. But the thing is now they have to face
the brick wall of Inter.
That's right. The greatest defense in club football right now. And I hate doubting them over and over again. I kind of want to doubt them again.
I'm gonna doubt them. It's not about doubting them. To me, you can. This is more of an Inter endorsement than a PSG shade. I think, especially with Inter, the way that they barely lost to City when they were really in the game, but they just couldn't get a goal.
And that's City in the highest of the powers too.
Exactly, and they held them to 1 goal from Rodri. I mean, this is one of the defensive teams of. I mean, they turned Jan Sommer into a world-class goalkeeper. They turned him into a world-class
100%.
goalkeeper. And yes, and and I think after how they lost, remember last year they lost to Atletico in the extra time, and when they clearly had a path that was right in front of them, I think that they're going to be very motivated to win this trophy. I think that PSG is going to give them a really tough effort. And I think, who knows, I think it's very possible to go to extra time. I think this will be a very tight game. Because even though Inter might be the better team, I don't see them blowing anyone away. But I do see them holding it down, holding the fort down in a way where I think that that PSG might be very frustrated trying to score on them. Because the openings aren't going to be there. The open lanes, the places to play the ball where people can create space, I just don't think they're going to be there. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think of the teams PSG's played. There is no shot they have played a team that has Inter's defensive capabilities. I mean, they played Arsenal. I understand that. Arsenal is not Inter defensively. They're just not. I mean, but they've played good teams. But to say that they just haven't gone up against someone like this, they haven't. Probably the entire season. I mean, they beat Villa, Arsenal, and maybe Liverpool. But I would still pick Inter defensively ahead of Liverpool. So
yeah, and Liverpool held PSG only to 1 goal across 2 matches.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, and I'm also going back now too. I think Inter probably played the final already in the semifinal. I hate throwing out that cliche.
Yeah.
But Barca was probably the second best team in the world this season.
Yeah.
That Lamine Yamal has been incredible. And they were able to put up 6 goals on the brick wall of Inter. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And they still lost.
Exactly. Which
in my opinion is more impressive from Inter in all
honesty.
Because they show that their defense could get overrun and they still could find a way to win. Which means that they can play both styles to me.
Dumfries was playing like prime Messi. Like it was incredible. Honestly, I was more shocked about Inter being able to match up with Barca scoring than Barca putting up the 6 goals.
Yeah, because of how lethal Barca's attack is.
Like I was more shocked about that, and you alluded to that as well. I hate throwing that narrative out there. I really do.
What narrative
that they already played their final?
Yeah.
But PSG is still a formidable attack.
100%.
And in this season especially.
92 goals in the league. I understand it's the French league. I understand it's a bottom feeder. I don't care what league you're in. You scored 92 goals in the league.
And they made it to the Champions League final. They made it to the Champions League final. I don't, they got to that point. They're a very good European squad. They're an elite squad for making a Champions League final. I think in a one match situation against the brick wall of Inter at the highest of their powers, I can't see them getting stopped. I can't. And they deserve, and this is their moment. This is what they've been waiting for no Man City in their way, no Real Madrid at the highest of their powers in their way. This was a down year for both sides. This is Inter's chance to finally grasp that brass ring.
But it's also, but the thing is, and I'm very in on Inter. It's also PSG's second chance. This is their redemption.
100%.
This is a double redemption arc.
100%. And this is
when PSG lost to Bayern. No one. I think most people thought Bayern were going to win that game.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a surprise. It's just Bayern was just so good. I mean, Hansi Flick was, to my opinion, that's the best he ever was. And although, to be fair, now
Barca. Yep.
But this, I think that I think this is a very evenly matched game. I don't think that as good as I think Inter is, I don't think they're an overwhelming favorite.
I wouldn't say they're overwhelming.
No.
I just think
the thing that worries me is a Donnarumma mistake.
We alluded to
PSG mistake at the back.
And this is definitely a match I could see going to penalties.
Yeah,
do you trust Sommer more than Donnarumma? I do 100%.
I do, but Donnarumma has had experience winning penalty shootouts.
Yes,
he won a Euro.
Yes, but that was also 4 years ago at this point.
True. No, that's true. That's a good point.
And he's become worse. He's gotten worse since then.
Yeah, he definitely peaked that year.
He's gotten worse. I at this point, I would trust Inter more in the shootout. But PSG, and I'm not calling PSG a young side at all. Like, they have experience in these situations as well. So it's not like they can't do it. This will be. I want to say it's gonna be either 2-1 or 2-2 going to penalties. I think it's one or the other. I think it's either a 2-1 Inter win in regular time, or it's 2-2 heading to penalties and Inter wins.
I think it's going to be a 2-1 Inter win.
Yeah. I think you're going to have a Lautaro Martinez goal.
Yeah.
100%. They have no Rodri stopping them now.
Yep. They do not have and they don't have a Rodri comparable, in my opinion, either.
No.
They don't have the defense that City had then. They don't have a Diaz. They don't have a Stones. They don't have a Walker at his peak. They don't have that. I mean, well, Hakimi is very good, but Hakimi is kind of in the Dumfries mold of wingback kind of right backs. He's in the Trent Dumfries mold, which is much more offensive minded. I would not be surprised if Hakimi. I think Hakimi and Dumfries are two of the best, after Trent, probably, offensive-minded right backs in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Hakimi played for Inter.
Yeah.
And was great at Inter.
Yeah.
So maybe you get a little something there. I don't know.
You know what would have been funny? And I wasn't rooting for Barca. I wasn't. But it would have been funny to see Hansi Flick manage this UCL final in Munich. That would have been pretty funny. I don't think there's really. I think you're gonna have, and say what you want about the roads to the finals in the Champions League. Like, we've complained about the formats, but usually the finals are damn good.
Yeah.
They do, and I think this will be a good final. I don't think this will be a stinker.
I mean, Real Dortmund was a good final.
Exactly.
And that should have been a blowout.
Exactly. Your boy Jadon Sancho. Yeah, no, they find a way to put together a good final, and I don't think this will be any different.
This is random. Who's the TNT Sports, the England TNT Sports guest pitch side person? They had Balotelli once. They've had Mourinho. They had Aguero. Is it someone from one of the teams?
Oh man,
maybe they get Beckham. PSG.
No, Beckham's working for Beckham's CBS watch along thing, so it can't be Beckham.
I'm trying to think of an intergrade. Oh no, I got it. Zlatan.
Yeah. It's yeah. That should have been pretty easy, actually.
Yeah, I'll go with Zlatan.
Zlatan always finds his way to a camera. He is one of the kings of finding a camera and getting his face in front of it.
He's one of the vanity kings of soccer.
100%.
He's probably the best vanity guy.
I swear, every AC Milan game I watched this year, I had to see one shot of Zlatan. It's like, and here we go again. It's like when you watch a Knicks playoff game on TNT and they show David Zaslav. It's like, oh, here's David Zaslav next to Larry David. Here's Zlatan. Ibrahimovic, here he is. Running this failing organization, but here he is. We're not in any European competition, but here's Zlatan. He scored goals once.
Oh, gosh.
Here's Zaz. Single-handedly ruined our company. Single-handedly ruined our club. Yeah. No, Zlatan's not the reason Milan sucks. I'm not insinuating that. But it might be part of the reason. But yes, I think there's a good chance. I think you're 100% right. Zlatan, I think it has to be now the guest sideline guy, pitch side guy. I think you're 100% right. I can't see it any other way now. And the thing is, he works well with a camera too. Zlatan does have good charisma.
Yeah,
he can work in front of a camera. That's fun. That's fun. I'm looking forward to the CBS. I was listening to for those who don't know, I love sports media and sports media podcasts, and John Orand has a podcast. He's with Puck now. He used to be Sports Business Journal. He has a podcast called The Varsity where he interviews someone in sports media every week. And he had Pete Radovich, who's the one of the lead producers for CBS's Champions League coverage. And he was teasing their broadcast at the final. And he said that Beckham has an A-list celebrity who's going to be on the watch along. He didn't reveal who. No. There's gonna be multiple people, but there's one celebrity in particular who's super A-list. My prediction is Tom Cruise. That's my prediction. But
I thought that was almost confirmed.
Is it confirmed? I didn't know.
Might be confirmed.
He just teased it when I listened. I didn't look into it any further. I just assumed because Tom Cruise, Paramount, CBS. I connected the dots like Pablo Torre and Bill Belichick, and I assumed it would just be Tom Cruise. But rest assured, I will not be watching that broadcast for the Champions League final. I'll be listening to Clive Tilsley. All right. So you're officially going
2-1 Inter. If
okay.
you want, I'll go Lautaro, and I'm gonna go DeMarco goal.
Okay, I like that. Man. All right. I'm going to go 2-2. Inter wins on penalties 5-4. Scratch that. 5-3. No, 4-3. Do 4-3. Inter 4-3. Of Lautaro scoring for Inter. And I guess I'll do Marcus Thuram. The other. I'll have the two strikers. I'll do Marcus Thuram.
Good shot.
And who's been playing very well throughout this entire Champions League too. And for PSG, I got to go Dembele just because he's been a scoring machine. But I shouted him out earlier. I think I'm going to go Vitinha, the second goal. I'll go Vitinha. I love me some Vitinha. He plays for Portugal and PSG. I have a lot of fun watching him. I gotta go with my guy Vitinha. We don't have predictions from Christian and Ricardo. We recorded this late. Christian right now is in the heart of Manhattan celebrating this Knicks victory, rightfully so. Jacob and I weren't so lucky to celebrate that, but we needed to get this pod out.
Someone had to do it.
Someone had to do it, and we did the dirty work. Ricardo, we don't know what Ricardo's doing. He's only working or something. I don't know. I don't know. He's got some highlight or something he's working on. What? Highlights? You gotta talk Champions League Final. No, but we'll have a podcast with the four of us soon. We can't just have someone missing every single time. But we promise we'll get something going. It's not the end. But like we've been saying this whole time, this will be a great Champions League final. It's the Super Bowl of Europe. I'm going to have a fun time. Jacob's going to have a fun time, and hopefully everyone else does as well. With that being said, I think it's time to end this episode.
Yes.
We need to go to bed. It's kind of late. 1:08 a.m. Eastern. But please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to us on Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Twitter /X, whatever you want to call it. Christian's been doing a great job handling that.
Yes, amen.
Amazing job. Always keeping that up to date. And you know what? Everyone loves it when we do our predictions. And by that, I mean the four of us. And I think we'll have some predictions for the Club World Cup. I think it's going to be our next set of predictions. I'm going to say that right now. And so Christian will be throwing some stuff up on socials. I'm certain once we make those predictions. Do we want to have a man of the match prediction for this?
Lautaro Martinez, man.
I was gonna go with Lautaro too. I think it's the easy one. I think it's the obvious one, but I do genuinely think if he scores in this,
he's a big game guy,
and I think he will score if my penalty prediction holds. I think he'll score in penalties as well. Hopefully, for my sake. Guys, take care. Have a wonderful time. Enjoy the final, and we'll see you around. We'll recap it. Peace.